So welcome, everyone. We're very excited to be here and to introduce our very own, your very own, new Not Your Ordinary Dating Advice podcast. We are NoFreeDrinks, and I am Lina D, and I'm really excited to just talk you through why we decided to come up with this podcast idea. And I keep seeing we, so I'm going to turn it over to Wesley, who's one of our co-hosts. And there's actually going to be 3 of us speaking, so we'll do our intros, and really excited to get this started.
Hello, everybody. I am Wesley of NoFreeDrinks. A little bit about myself. I am an IT professional here in New York City. What else? I'm a black guy, of course.
I like how you start out with that.
I'm a black man.
He's trying to get all the ladies right now. Oh, geez.
So basically, I'll talk about how we got started. So I'm at work one day after, I think, another awful profile that I see on Tinder. And I send it over to our group chat with Brock and Lina D. And I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like, how is it that the dating scene is this bad? So how we got started was that I just kept throwing out the ideas that, you know, we should start a YouTube journey about how, you know, how crazy this dating scene is, how demanding a lot of people can be, and things of that nature. That idea, by the way, was immediately rejected. So basically, as we were mulling through all the stories that we had gone through, finally I just said, you know what, we should start a podcast about this because it's insane. I'll get into that a little bit later, but the level of what do you call it? The level of
fuckery?
Yeah, that just goes on.
All around bad quality.
All around bad qualities, bad everything that you're seeing out there. And I'm not saying that guys aren't bad either. What I'm saying is that this dating scene is rough. It's extremely rough out here.
It is very rough. And I think it's not just men that feel that way. My girlfriends complain about it all the time, too. And that's why we thought that it would be great for us to get together and think about the experiences that we've all had, whether it's in dating or relationships, even sexual experiences, which is like one of my favorite things to talk about.
We know.
So we just thought that it would be a great way to have these open discussions, but also to create the safe place, right? Because sometimes, especially of people that I know that are in my circles and that I love to death, but sometimes people are just so judgy about those things when it's not something that they automatically relate to, or when they feel that they don't necessarily experience the same thing that you've experienced. And it's also this judgment zone that comes upon us. And I don't think there's enough spaces like that where these candid conversations can happen, where you can come in and sort of ask a question and say, hey, what have you done in this experience, and what could I do, and what makes sense, just because the world is so complicated now. But anyway, I want us also to talk to Brock a bit, because he's also one of our co-hosts, and want him to share a little bit about why he wanted us to be in this podcast.
Thanks, Lina D. Hi, everyone. This is Brock. A little bit about myself. I work in finance in New York, originally from Brooklyn. I've known Wesley and Lina D for about 4.5 years now. And yeah, online dating scene is very interesting. Personally, I prefer to meet someone in person, but dating has kind of shifted to online. So it's either you're a part of it or you're not. And yeah, I've shared a bunch of interesting stories with both of them. And then we were like, hey, like we always talk about this over text and person over drinks. Why not just create a podcast about this, share our experiences and kind of like do's and don'ts. Obviously, we've made missteps along the way ourselves, what we would have done differently if we had a second chance, or kind of, yeah, just talk about experiences, get your feedback, and let's all like just talk about it. I mean, dating and sex should be fun. It shouldn't have to be a game or this calculated maneuvers. It should be a rewarding part of your life.
Yeah, the games. Oh, the games. I love the games. It makes me that much more of a petty person.
Kind of like Draymond Green and LeBron James.
Yeah, pretty much.
I appreciate the petty, though. It keeps things interesting.
Yeah, for real.
Then on my side of the spectrum, more of what I was becoming concerned with, and this is me sharing my perspective, and obviously Wesley and Brock are guys, and they're dating, and they're out in the world, and they're seeing a little bit of a different angle. More of my perspective is based on being a professional woman, somebody that's been very career oriented. So I work in marketing within the tech field here in New York City. And I've actually been in a very long-term relationship now, going on 11 years. And the one thing that I always get asked about is, when is he going to put a ring on it? When are you guys going to get married? And it almost feels that my whole identity is gravitating around this whole social construct of marriage. And a lot of my goal was to have that conversation and to really start pushing in the direction where women start sort of challenging even the norms that have been imposed on them growing up. I mean, I remember growing up, it was always about, oh, you have to wait until marriage to have sex. I grew up in a Catholic household, which I challenged a bit. And I'm actually proud that I challenged it, because I was able to become my own person as a result of that. As much as I respected my grandmother and her very religious beliefs, and as much as I respect my mother and the fact that she decided to wait until marriage to actually have sex. But those were their decisions, and that's what they felt was a part of who they are. And that wasn't a part of who I am at all, or who I was and who I was becoming as I was growing up. So having had that experience of not listening to my mom, not listening to the Catholicism ideals, not listening to basically what other people in my family were saying, because the other thing too is, like, I'm Latina, so if you're a Catholic and Latina, it's always about decency, and it's about waiting to marriage and all this stuff, and it's all these things that kind of define you as a person. So personally, that was one of the things that really tugged at me, and because I think that those expectations that are imposed on you since such a young age really end up playing a big role in how you end up approaching others, approaching certain experiences. And I want to start challenging that, because with all of the feminism and female advancement, and there being more opportunities, it's just such a bigger oyster now compared to if you think about women in the 20s or the 60s, where they had no rights and they had no ability to actually do the things that they really wanted to do.
Right.
And I just find so many friends pinning their own value on the construct of marriage and the fact that they're nearing their 30s and they don't have that person that has put a ring on it, or the person that they think that they want to be with.
Right.
So I really wanted to really challenge those things and just push us to as women to appreciate ourselves in a different way that is defined by what you want it to be. That could be whatever it is that you want it to be, and not on what society has dictated for decades. Right.
Of course. So, I mean, it's hard for me to say this, but there are certain things that work against guys out there in the field, right? So I'll go by the nice guy thing. The nice guy thing sometimes can be, it's almost like it's a detriment for you to be a nice person. I'm going to be honest and say that. Like, I consider myself to be very, a nice, I try to be a very honest person, and I try to be a very direct person. I am sometimes, or I shouldn't say, and most times I am an introvert at heart. I know when to speak up, though. I know when to, say something when the time comes. But for a lot of times, I try to, lean back a little bit, just observe, and then report. So what that means is that for me, it's just like I want to try to get to know the person. If I put it like this, if a woman were to come up to me and talk to me about stuff, and I didn't really say anything, I would say that I'm more of a listener than a talker a lot of times. I like to listen to, how people, I wouldn't say how people react, but I like to listen to how, like their goals, their dreams, like, how they feel, things like that. And then I like to, interject with something that's very meaningful, because I'm not a very small talk person a lot of times. So for me, dating has kind of shifted into, this whole, you kind of have to be a little narcissistic to get what you want out of it. And I'm not that kind of person. But I think dating in this, for me, being, I would say, a self-proclaimed nice guy, is hard, because you have to kind of be like that kind of mean person, that rough around the edges kind of guy, the roughneck kind of person. So, I mean, with that being said, it's a little harder for men out there to be like, you can't come off being a decent guy. You got to come off being a little bit rougher around the edges and then show the decent qualities.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know, something about, I guess, the appeal of a project. Like a nice guy, it's like, oh, you're perfect. Like, it's a perfect square. I don't need to do anything. But if you're like slightly rough around the edges, it could be anything from the way you dress, your job, group of friends, just, I don't know, aspirations in life, like something that can be fixed in a way. Not too sure if I'm a nice guy, like, wait, let me expand on that. Like, I know right from wrong. I have manners, but I'm not hesitant to, like, be a dick, like, or be an asshole. And I don't mind that in a way. Like, growing up in New York City, where as a native, I live in New York, but I'm also a native New Yorker, as I mentioned before as well. It's very different the way it is now. It's not gentrified. There's a lot of gangs back then. So, like, wearing blue in certain neighborhoods, or red in other neighborhoods. So you had to have your street smarts about you, and being nice got you, like, duct tape to the pole on the train, or someone's walked to you in the train car, I'm like, what size are those? Point to your sneakers and take your sneakers. Like, being nice wasn't like it. You couldn't be nice. Like, you had to be somewhat guarded and tough and be resilient. And I'm not saying that's necessarily translated to dating. I try to be chivalrous. I try to be just treat someone how I want to be treated. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, if I'm triggered or whatnot, like, I have my moments. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a nice guy per se. Right. But I would say, like, yeah, being nice, like, 100% nice can be detrimental. It's like, I don't know. Like, I want a little, like, edge.
You want an edge? Yeah,
you want a little edge. Probably makes the sex better, too. Like, you don't want... Can you please turn over?
Can you please turn over?
Nah, just throw me over.
Please turn over, miss. I would like to hit it from the back. Oh, by the way, guys, we have a potty mouth, so we're kind of taking it easy on this episode, just to kind of, you guys get a feel of who we are and what we're going to talk about. Next episodes, we definitely have potty mouths, so you might hear a lot of words that you may not agree with, and if you don't agree with them after this episode, you probably want to, look at another podcast.
No, I would just say not safe for work.
Okay.
Not safe for kids. That's all.
There you go. Not safe for kids. Even though, when I was 13 as a kid, I was watching some crazy shit on the internet. So we're not going to go there. All right. We'll just say, if you're mature enough, you think you can handle a lot of fuck, a lot of shit, a lot of bitch, goddamn, you in the right place. All right.
Other languages, curses.
Other curses and other languages.
All included.
In different languages, because Lina D, she's Latina, and she has a fiery attitude, so you never know.
But bringing us back to the fact that I like how both of you talked about this identity of nice guy and not being a nice guy, and sort of having to put up a front, so to speak, or having to hide who you really are or what your intentions might be. And the reason that's important is because it actually inspired the name of our podcast.
That's right.
So I want us to talk a little bit about that. That's kind of my little baby. I'm the marketer in the group. So, of course,
Hey.
I wanted something that would be, wait, what do you mean no free drinks? Because I've been there. I've gone out with girlfriends where
They beg for drinks? What are you talking about?
no, they don't beg. Their sole purpose of going
They
out.
eagerly await.
That's kind of a little bit more like it. The sole purpose of going out is like, oh, let's go out, let's have some fun. But if there's a dude that wants to buy us drinks, let him. And I always found it interesting because, yeah, in college, right after college, when you're just starting out, it's cool to have somebody buy you drinks because then you don't got to spend that money.
Yeah, because you broke. That's why.
Broke as hell. And I can use that for that purse I wanted to buy or whatever.
You could use it on them ramen noodles you're about to spend on the following week.
I don't know about them ramen noodles, but so anyway, the point is that you get excited because you're getting attention. Obviously, you're attractive, you're beautiful, and some random dude that you really have no interest in, and most of the time you don't have any interest in getting that drink from him.
Damn.
Just to be honest, it's like they're usually like not attractive, much older. There is no way that anything is going to go down that night.
Really, you think that much older guys are the only ones that offer women drinks to get them into, the vagina?
I mean, in my experience, it was always older men.
Like, how much older are we talking?
All right, so, okay, boom. You go into college. You walk into the bar. You sit down. You look around patiently or eagerly awaiting. And you say, oh, okay, I like him. So let me give him the eye so he knows what it is. Give me this drink right now. So you pretend that you're going to order a drink. He comes by. How much older is that guy? You're 19 years old, right?
Between like 24 and there was that one time where the dude was like in his 30s.
God damn.
That was in Philly.
Shout out to Philly.
Shout out to
I love Philly, by the way. Just
shout out to Philly for pulling Lina D in. She's sexy as hell. So
no, but anyway, the whole point is that, and so that was me early 20s. Flash forward to now, early 30s, whatever. I actually have gone out and declined free drinks because
really,
yeah.
What?
Because I see the guy and I have no interest.
Look, I'm gonna be like this. Look, for me, it's free though.
But it's but the thing is like that. So that you're saying from a woman's perspective, and then I'm saying there are women who gladly
accept granddad.
I've accepted them, but I'm saying more as we're talking about these constructs of dating and being a nice guy.
Right.
Should that really be the first move? Like, do you guys think that should be the first move? That as a guy, that's what you're going to do, and that's what you're going to pull from your playbook.
Hell no.
Yeah, I think that's Lina D hit that nail on the head. I think that's the big thing. Like, it shouldn't be the first move. Like, you're already lost at that point. She probably has minimal to no interest in you. She's about to get a free round for her and her girlfriends. And then gonna go probably talk to someone else she actually likes. Like, it shouldn't be a first move. It should be whatever. You guys are chatting up. You guys are vibing. A drink finishes. Hey, can I buy you another drink? Like, in the flow of how things are going. So.
Fellas, I'm gonna tell you this right now. So this is I'm in IT, so I like to teach a lot. This is a teachable moment here, guys. Look, if you have to rely on a free drink or a drink, or buy a drink for a woman that you find attractive, I don't know, man. Your prospects are looking real low right now. Just, I'm gonna put that out there. And for the ladies out there who accept these free drinks and don't have any intention on talking to this guy, y'all ain't shit. I'm just putting that out there.
It's based on life stage. Don't be so judgy. It's based on life stage.
I disagree a little bit. I don't have a problem with the women accepting the drinks, because I'm like, whatever. If you want to buy me a drink with pretty much no return, that's on you. What I do have issue with is kind of what Lina D talked about earlier, is with you go out with the expectation that free drinks should get fed to you. And then you're sitting there and kind of Wesley had talked about it a little bit, where you do the fake drink order, where you're like, oh, you're kind of like shuffling, like, and then the guy comes up and stands next to you at the bar, and they're like, oh, let me get you a drink. Like, I don't like that whole, like, you pretty much staged it where to get a free drink. I understand this. End of the day, we go back to the G where it's all a game. Yeah. But I have issues with that. But hey, if I was a woman and a guy wants to buy me a drink, hey, go for it.
Oh man, I like free shit. I'm just putting that out there. I understand there's strings attached, but it's free shit. That's me.
I don't know. I think at some point once you've been in it long enough where you've been in those situations where the dude had bought you the free drink and then he just wouldn't leave. Like, so if you give me a drink, I value that as like at least a 5 to 10 minute conversation. That is what you're going to get from me. And actually, there's been other times where I've just straight up been like, I'm going to the bathroom, and then I've left and gone somewhere else. God damn. I never come back.
She went to the other guy. That's right, fellas. She not talking to you no more. You bought her. This is what you did. When you bought that drink, you bought 5 minutes of conversation. After that 5 minutes, she went to the bathroom. And when she comes out of that bathroom, it's like it's like this. You know, all fellas can kind of look up to I guess all fellas can I can use this analogy. It's like where you're about to crash and burn in Flight Simulator or whatever. All you do is go to the fucking PS4 and turn it off and then turn it back on. That's what you just did. She just hit reset on you. She's PS4. She hit reset on you. Time to move on to something else. Somebody cuter. Somebody who got a lot more, pimpage in his words.
But even like it's more of the notion of, hey guys, if you really like a woman, no free drinks. Like, you should stick to that. Like, the drink shouldn't be the reason why she's talking to you.
That's true.
So that's just kind of one word of advice out there for men that are, if that's your move, that's your go-to.
Right.
I think for women, on the other hand, too, is just, and maybe this is because I've experienced this a lot, where your time just becomes more valuable. So if I'm at the club and some ugly ass dude comes up to me trying to buy me a drink and I say no thanks, and then he's still hovering about me, what does that say about him? Like, where is your self-esteem, man? Like, I have my own self-esteem. And that's what I'm saying, is that if I am not attracted to someone, I do not want to accept that drink, because I value my time and I'm not going to waste it talking to someone that it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
We're not going to become friends. My friends don't even think you're cute, so I can't introduce you to them. Like, there's so many different things, and you should be using your time a little bit more effectively instead of hovering around somebody. But it's just that concept. And I know that when I introduced that idea to some of my girlfriends, they were like, what do you mean no free drinks? Like, we love that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I was there too. But it's more about taking that sort of that power that you have, because you already know that somebody is interested in you, but just don't play the game. Like, just value have your own like confidence in yourself, and actually ask yourself, hey, would I actually talk to this guy if he didn't buy me a drink?
Right.
If the answer is no, you probably shouldn't be accepting that drink.
You hear that, fellas? Don't listen to T-Pain out here, right? Don't do it. He's going to get you in trouble, and you're going to be broke as fuck at the end of the night.
Actually, all his songs, Buy Me a Drink,
I'm in love with a
stripper.
I'm in love with a stripper.
T-Pain, give him bad advice.
Even Drake too a little bit, though.
Yeah, but it's just
you're a good girl. You know it. You act so different around me. What kind of shit is that? Yeah, it is. It is. I will admit, though, I have been the person who has bought a girl a drink and has gotten nowhere. I will tell you this. I'm trying to remember all the times, and it's not coming to mind. But I would say this, though. The times that I've bought a girl a drink have got me almost nowhere. The times that I have not bought a drink and just came up to a woman and said, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 just, came in with the, with all the word game, and then said, because she already had a drink in your hand, so she's not broke, fellas. So, and then said, you know what? I got the next one, has gotten me way more laid, but I'm telling you right now, you probably should keep all your money in your pocket for something else. That new game that comes out, Injustice, that game is fire. So something else besides buying a chick a drink just so you can get laid, because I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen.
Not the way.
Nah.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, in my younger days, like fresh out of college,
Yeah,
I've done it like a couple of times, and yeah, it just never, ever works. I guess back then, I quote unquote thought I had more discretionary
so
income.
you was listening to T-Pain too.
No, I was like, I'm gonna ball out. Like,
you balling out on a budget though.
You had that finance job.
Hey,
I was like, I dedicated 1 or 2 rounds of drinks a night, just randomly.
Okay.
I don't know why. I think part of it was like, it's
Damn, it was
cool.
part of your budget.
Part of my budget.
got an allowance for drinks.
I got a tricking allowance.
Man.
Tricking allowance. Yeah, and just never works. Like if she liked you before that, she's still gonna like you now. If she
That's
didn't
true.
like you before that, she's not gonna like you now. Like the drink is not changing anything. It's not like, oh, now maybe if you got bottle service, if we up in the ante, that
He got money.
he got money. That might work. But yeah, just like a simple whiskey ginger, like that's not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Like,
you ain't cutting it, fellas.
you gotta differentiate yourself better than that. Anyone can buy a drink. Like, come on.
Yeah, for real.
Fellas, we could do better, and ladies, we can both do better to make dating a little better for both parties.
Yeah, for everyone. It's just it's all about just peeling back all of those layers of complexity and games that men impose on women, women impose on men. I think society imposes on both people, like
Right.
just things that are supposed to be the norm.
Right.
So we're gonna debunk those things a bit, because we're just not about that
We ain't
old
about
fashioned stuff.
No. All right then. So so everybody, hopefully you enjoyed what you heard. So let us know what you think. You can just let us know what you think. Should you buy a girl a drink, or should you not buy a girl a drink? And if so, tell us why you think you should buy a girl a drink, and then we'll read your response on the next episode of the podcast. And that's it.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's like if you hear something that we say and you're not completely in agreement with it, we actually want to hear from you.
That's
Because,
right.
Yeah, we want to have a conversation. Like I said, this is a safe place. So you talking to yourself about how you disagree with us isn't helping anybody.
No, it's not.
But if you actually come to us, we can have that conversation.
And we do entertain certain trolls out here, so we will hit you with the business. All right. So you fuck with some experts over here. All right.
So you might be wondering, well, how do I get in touch with you guys? So first of all, I want to invite you to visit our webpage, NoFreeDrinks.com. On there, we have a contact us form where you can just send us a comment, send us questions, debate with us, whatever it is that you want to share. Just send us a little like note. We want to know that you guys are enjoying what we're talking about, and we want to be your sounding board. So like if there's topics that you haven't heard from us or you want to hear from us, submit those. I'm really hoping that you follow us and subscribe to our podcast. So thank you for joining us for our first episode of No Free Drinks.
Hey guys, thanks for listening.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys.